Hello, James here. I'm in the studio. Currently working on a new piece. I'm going to do a quick video, just kind of show what I got going on. It is a painting size 24 by 24 on canvas. Thus far, it is acrylic, enamel, as well as concentrated ink. And then I'm thinking we'll probably have the addition of some Chinese watercolor as well towards the end. But like I said, it is a 24 by 24 canvas, primed, and then the entirety of the canvas was covered with this color here that I had mixed up. It looks, the best I can describe it is like a Pepto pink over the entire canvas. And then on top of that, I used a few different colors, combination of spray paint that I misted onto the entire canvas to coat the whole canvas. These are some of the areas where you can obviously see it through, as well as there's those shapes here. Then on the opposite corner, kind of not quite mirrored, same type of shape pattern down here that's not filled yet. Originally, and you can see a lot of the other areas are filled with some other colors. I was originally going to fill those, but I'm debating on possibly leaving them and maybe just doing line work, or maybe just a little color coming in, but leaving a lot of that showing through. All right, so show some of the areas. So you can see as we get close up, I got a light on it. I'll move this light a little. You can see some of the specks from the spray paint. You see there? There we go. And like I said, that was the original color. So you can see the difference there between that color that I first put on and then when I applied the spray paint. And then, so some of the paint that I had used in colors, this is one of them. It's actually a fluorescent yellow. That's an airbrush paint. Very thin, fairly translucent. And right here on this area here, so I went ahead and after the spray paint, I went ahead and get this in focus. Started to work on the line work, the black line work, and then within the shapes, I started to fill those in. So areas like this, with this color, you can still see as we come up some of the color, like through those specks, make it a lot easier to see some of that coming through, as opposed if we had painted just on a primed white canvas, where this would be a lot closer to looking like that. So we have an area like that that's just one coat on top of that, and then areas where we have multiple, and then like this one where there's about four. This color, or this combination of colors on top of all that started off after the spray paint. That started off with this color, a buildup of some pearlescent white, as well as some copper metallics and whatnot. And then you can see some of the color still permeating through. Just put thinner layers just to build up, give it some texture and a nice look. So that metallic also has a shimmer. As I hold this light, you can see that, as opposed to areas where like that white does not, and even that yellow and that pink. And then we go over to like these greens and blues. So you see that throughout. There. So some of these areas will have a buildup of colors, and that's one as well. And then on top of all that, the idea was to do some line work. I want to show too, I guess I might as well show some of the pearlescent color that I was using when I was talking about some moon violet pearlescent liquid acrylic, as well as even using artist ink, kind of like a liquid acrylic. So on top of this, this entire painting, I I had thought about on these layers. Once these layers, what's filled in and whatnot, generally, the idea was I was going to do line work on top of these areas. And what I mean by that is, and I don't have an example. You can see, I guess, some of the line work on there, and kind of that's a bad example. This is probably a better example in this area where you see these colors. And actually, I think this is Chinese watercolor on this one. So I'll do some buildup of line work on those colors so they won't be quite as, not that the areas are flat, but they'll be a lot less flat and two-dimensional. Try to build them up more. Go back in another view. One of the issues about using pearlescent paints, which are reflective, is once we change the light, which I moved it off, and you can see light off, light on, areas that remain pretty flat, absorb more of the light, whereas the pearlescent reflects, which makes it interesting when the light source is moving across, or the viewer moves across the plane, the eyes at least. So, and then once I use the Chinese watercolor, which is an opaque watercolor, it will be non-reflective. Typically what I do though, if I use Chinese watercolor, is I'll use a clear spray acrylic coating on top, so that the watercolor becomes more stable. And then I'll brush in, so you can see there, like a UV protectant gloss coating. That way, if any water were to get on it, the watercolor wouldn't run down. Obviously, you can see here, like if I touch it, it's very smooth. So, there it is. That's what I'm working on. Thank you for watching.